Hey everyone, I'm about to be joined by Alice Rose to talk about reclaiming your life and the steps that she can help you with to make you feel like you again and to help you through a difficult time such as trying to conceive, fertility treatment, etc. So here she is. Hello, hi to those who are joining. Welcome. Hi Alice.
Hey Els, how you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I logged on like an hour ago being like, oh, where is she? And then I realized that I was an hour early, so now I'm at the correct time. So we're all good. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, that's fine. I'm sorry, someone just tried to call me at the same time. Yes, all good. So really nice to be chatting to you today. I feel like it's such an important time to be speaking because we're obviously heading into winter, heading in towards the Christmas period, which can be, as we know, so tough when you're struggling to conceive. And
Yeah.
also we've just come out of the most incredibly difficult 2 years, let's say, haven't we? So
Yeah.
could you tell us a bit more about how you support people and your incredible Reclaim course, which is just about to open again?
Yes, thank you. I think, yeah, you're right. It's been, I mean, there are no words really, are there, for
No.
what we've all just kind of been through and what people who are going through the fertility experience journey, whatever you want to call it, are actually experiencing, saying the same word twice, right now. Is there are no words. It's so incredibly hard, and I have had so many people messaging me just being like, I actually feel hopeless, I feel in a really dark place, I feel numb, I feel all of these things. And I think, when I set out to try to just share the small things that helped me, I never imagined that it would get to a place where, I would be doing this full time. But, there's such a need for it. And I'm so passionate about sharing the things that I found that really did radically transform my outlook and perspective. So yeah, the way that I do that is through, one of the main ways is through my course, which is open now until the end of play on the 19th. Which I just can't wait to get started.
So you ran this course last year for the first year, didn't you? And what did people say after having experienced the course last year? 6 weeks, is that right?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
So I did it, it was only, this time last year that I did it for the first time. And I really didn't know what to expect at all, because it felt very new territory for me. And I thought, well, I think that I've managed to curate, the roadmap of what happened with me. And then throughout, my mentoring experience that I've done really over the last 3.5 years. And I kind of broke it all down, and I got really geeky and obsessed with like, what was it like, how did I move from being in one place to another? And I got very interested in that, and then realized that there was a process, there was a kind of step-by-step thing. And that's what I did. I sort of broke it down, and then I kind of curated this roadmap so that anyone who comes in sort of starts at a place of lots of healing, lots of validation. Absolutely first thing we do is acknowledge like how difficult this whole thing is. And I call it kind of compassionate mindset transformation, because I feel like there is a bit of a gap really when it comes to kind of the coaching world and fertility. And a lot of times it just doesn't quite sit well with me, because it's just not quite gentle enough. The trauma that people have been through and that are going through, we have to allow for that space to be held before we even consider changing outlooks and perspective. So while I call it a mindset transformation course, it is, but it feels extremely gentle. It's almost kind of therapeutic in nature, I think. So the response that I got was just, I mean, I could not have imagined the impact and the epic kind of mindset shifts that people had and continue to have. It is really amazing. And it's not me, I always try and say this, it's not me, it's the people that do it. All I do really is just hold the space and guide them, but it's all about every unique person that comes on that journey with me.
And you've written a really good article, which I'll pop in the link in bio so people can read it, which explains a little bit more about your own personal journey, how you were feeling, and what led you to this, so that people can understand your background too and how you have experienced this firsthand. In terms of what people would expect for the 6 weeks course, which they can sign up to now, what happens over the 6 week period?
So as soon as they sign up, they get access to their accounts, which is all on my website, which is all really easy to access, and they'll get their kind of welcome module. And in there's a few bits and pieces to get started just before we get going. And they'll also get access to the private online community, and that's away from Facebook. It's just a private app that we use. And I have that there as an option, because not everybody wants to be part of a group, but some people absolutely love it. So that you always have that 24/7 kind of place for support as you do go through the content, and accountability, and also just a place to kind of just come and be, you know, how important that is. But it's really, really helpful to have a place where people are going through the course content at the same time that you are, so that it helps you to move along, because that accountability piece is so important. And then we have our opening ceremony on the 20th, and there is a, you know, I try and make this a bit I like to have a bit of, I don't know what to call it, a bit of magic, a bit of something around it, which feels really exciting. And it is exciting. Like, people get really, you know, the energy in the group is really special. And then every Friday they get their new content. So it's not too overwhelming. I don't kind of give everyone everything at once. There has been a self-paced version of this, but the live course is run quite differently. So you get each content is available every Friday, and then on the Monday we have our live support calls as well.
Amazing.
So those are the
which
kind
people
of, yeah,
can do anonymously if they're worried about showing their face and don't want to necessarily put a name to a face and want to be
exactly
private.
Exactly. So it's so important to sort of say, you know, people can take this course absolutely how it suits them. So some people really love to be quite vocal and come to the calls, and they're in the group and engaged a lot. Other people might do it in the live way, so that they, you know, really enjoy the fact that it is live and it gets them through it, but they aren't very vocal. They will keep anonymous. They don't show their faces, and it's so personal and unique to each person. And I really, like, I make a point of saying that, you know, like every call I'm like, I know you might be watching this on the replay, I know you might be there in the chat, but I am here for you too. Like, I'm thinking of you, you're in this, we're all in it together.
Amazing. And also, is it worth noting that people can a bit more about, like, reclaiming their life, that it's about, you know, how you live during this tricky period versus helping people get pregnant?
Yes, and that's a really important definition to make. You know, for me, I just don't, it's just not where I work. It's not where my focus is. You know, someone actually messaged me, they're going to sign up. They said, and will it help, you know, with natural conception? Because I know that, you know, will it help reduce the stress and everything? And I said, well, look, of course, by working on our emotional and mental well-being, it is going to have a really positive impact on your stress. But the aim of Reclaim is not for me to say, or ever to claim, that it is going to improve chances of conception. It's just I don't feel that's an ethical thing for me to say. I don't feel like I'm qualified to say that, and I'm not. You know, I'm a qualified transformational coach, and what that does mean is that I'm able to guide people to a place where they can look at their lives in a totally new frame of mind. And then what that does is give people the power and the autonomy to make the decisions that might be appropriate for them in their fertility experience. So, you know, there are lots of ways where it absolutely could have a really positive impact on what happens in your story. But also, what's more important to me is that we start this whole experience by going, you are whole and full and complete whatever happens in your journey. And that is our kind of goal, is to leave people feeling like safe and okay with whatever happens, because that's the fear so much of the time, isn't it? The uncertainty, the unknown, the fear of it, and we kind of take that away by really exploring it all, but in a really safe, gentle and compassionate way.
Which is amazing. And for people who are worried about spending money when they're spending money on fertility treatment, what would you say? What's the price of the course? Because I know you're kindly giving Fertility Help Hub readers 15% off with code HELPHUB15, which they can use at checkout. So tell us a bit more about that.
So my goal with everything that I do is to make this kind of work accessible to as many people as possible, because when I was, you know, exploring kind of getting one-to-one support myself, it wasn't in reach for me. You know, my one-to-one sessions are obviously a much more expensive option to work with me. This way, it's the course content, well, the whole of the experience is the investment is £222, and that also can be broken down into 2 payments as well, and plus the 15% off. So it is quite affordable for most people. I also would say, you know, I never want finances to be the barrier. So I really encourage people to contact me. We can talk about different payment plans. You know, I really want people to be able to access this content. And what they actually get for that is so much more than that initial outlay, you know. And it's something that I'm so passionate about. I talk about money quite a lot because I actually had none at all when I was going through fertility. You know, I really didn't. It was a struggle, and I'm very conscious of that. So that's why I try to make it as accessible and as affordable as I can, while at the same time reflecting the value that's in there. And it is high value, high impact stuff that I really do have the evidence for now. So I'm just really excited about it.
It's amazing, and also accessible for anyone around the world because it's virtual.
It's virtual. We have people joining from everywhere. I mean, I've got somebody, I think, joining from Bermuda. I've got Australia, New Zealand we've had before, Canada, just everywhere. And that's really exciting as well. And I love that sense of connection. That really makes it feel special.
If anyone's got any questions for Alice, then please ask or DM Alice. But yeah, you can use code HelpHub15 for 15% off, and I will pop the link in the bio. I'm really excited to hear more about it and follow what you're doing on Instagram. And also, it's a space outside of social media, isn't it? Because social media, I find it, even running this channel, can be quite full on, and especially when you have pregnancy announcements, things are opening up, you don't necessarily want to see people. It's sometimes nice to take things to a private group, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, initially, before I even started, I was thinking, right, I'll do a Facebook group. And then actually I was like, no. Too overwhelming, too much noise, you know. A lot of this is about quieting down the noise and tuning into ourselves and coming into and reclaiming ourselves is part of that. And so it's part of connecting back to who we are. And we can't do that very easily when we've got so much coming at us from all directions, you know. So it really is about helping people to, you know, we do all kinds of things. Like I talk about creating a reclaimed space in their house so that they do everything possible to kind of be really open to receive this stuff and really have that transformative shift internally. And yeah, just the impact can be massive. I genuinely can't wait to see what happens for the people that do go on this particular cohort with me.
And so doors close on Tuesday next week.
Yes, is that the 19th? Yes.
Yeah, I think so. And then you won't be running it again for another year. So people should grab this opportunity whilst it's available. If they feel that they need it at this point in time. Yes,
please do it. And it won't be available again for a year. And it's just the way I'm running it now, because it's, you know, because I like to give my absolute all to it, and because there are other things that I do obviously to support people. So it's there as my kind of yearly offering now, I think. So yeah, don't miss it. It's really special. And I don't think there's anything else quite like, and there are lots of programs and things, but I don't think there's anything that quite this level of support that you get alongside it as well.
But also looking at other areas of your life as well, because for example, I was so focused on fertility, I started to lose track of kind of work and other things that were my driving force in life. So you can obviously help reignite that energy to look for other things that make you happy at the same time as struggling, so that your life's not on hold.
Absolutely. You know, that's one of the major things, isn't it? That feeling of being stuck and trapped and on hold. And we really dive into that and talk about that. I've just noticed a question there for those couples who aren't in treatment yet but have reached the year of trying. Are they able to join? Absolutely. You know, it's for anyone at any stage of the journey, whether you've been doing it, you know, the whole joy of Reclaim is that it's for you, whatever point you're at. And it can also, you know, a lot of people that I've worked with who did it last year and who actually are in my Life Raft membership are actually doing it again with me this year as a kind of refresher, because they're now in a different frame of mind. There might be different parts of each module or lessons that kind of really speak to them now, and they can do that at no extra cost when they're a Life Raft member. So once once you invest in it, you know, it's yours. And it doesn't go away.
And do people have access to you, not on a one-to-one level, but how much do they sort of speak with you?
Yeah, so they speak with me every week. We join on the Monday, and they're at 8 p.m. GMT, BST, whatever. When our clocks change, it's all so confusing. But anyway, London time, UK
Yeah.
time, at 8 p.m. and they are always recorded and uploaded. But I do come back to people, you know, if people contact me, like particularly, I don't understand this particular bit, or this is confusing to me, I do always come back with an email or a voice note. And also, of course, in the group, I'm there in the group as well. So they do get quite a lot of access to me. And I do have a very limited number of Reclaim VIP options as well. So they get much more one-to-one support.
Okay.
So people can contact me about those.
Cool. Well, we've covered so much. Thank you. I'm sure it'll be so helpful for our followers and readers. And again, for anyone who's just joined, you can use code HELPHUB15 for 15% off. Find out all about it. I'll pop the link in bio, which also has Alice's article that she's written about her personal story and how she reached this point of starting this incredible course and transformation. So thanks, Alice, and nice to chat to you.
Yeah, you too. Thank you so much. And yeah, please do contact me. Any questions? You know, I'm really nice. And I can help
I can vouch for that.
With anything. And yeah, I'm really not like pushy or salesy, but what I'll do is just talk you through it. And then, oh, and you do get a 30-day.
Oh, we've lost sound. Oh, could you say that again?
My Instagram time limit thing came up. Oh. Yeah, I'll say it again. There's a which I always ignore. I don't know why I put it on here.
I don't know why you have that on there.
What's that? You've been on for an hour. Ignore everything.
Yeah.
I offer a 30-day money-back guarantee because I just want people to try this without any risk. So if they try it and they go through the content and they can show me they've tried it and you know, they've done the work, but it's just not really for them. I just offer. I actually haven't. Nearly 300 people have done the course, and I haven't done any refunds, but it's there as an option just so you can know that it's risk-free, basically.
Brilliant. And actually also in the article that you've written for me, there's a few snippets of what other people who have done the course have said about it. So if people want to read other people's experiences, they can do that as well.
Yes, and I've actually just been in touch. Someone has said, like, they're just feeling quite nervous about signing up. So I've reached out to a few of my reclaimers, as I call them, my family, to say, like, would anyone like to speak to this person? So I'm sure there'll be plenty more students who have done it who would be happy to chat as well. So it's not all just from me.
Well, thank you for everything you do in the space, and lovely to chat to you. Thanks to those who joined.
Thank you. Mwah. Lots of love to everyone.
Speak to you soon.
Speak soon. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.